Listen to this. No, you're not in the mountains of Dangwala. You're in Coral Springs with some real Tibetan monks. Prepare to sweat with Sierra in a workout tailored for women, and Morgan has some snacks that taste as good as they are for your health. And that's really good. I'll show you how art can be used as therapy and ask a monk about meditation. It's all today on SoFlo Health. Hey, what's up? I'm Hunter Frankie, and this is SoFlo Health. So welcome. We're at the Coral Springs Museum of Art, as it says just over my shoulder here, but it's not just that. There's so much here to see today because Tibetan monks are in town. You heard me right, Tibetan monks. So let's go inside and meet a monk. As promised, I told you we'd meet a monk, and this is Minyak Rinpoche. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Awesome, wonderful. So tell me about the ceremony we just saw.
Yeah, this morning we just did the opening ceremony. So we did the ritual prayer, blessed the space, and also we just pray for all the beings, and especially pray for the world peace.
Right. And what is the sound that we hear happening behind us?
These sounds come from the chakras. Through that they are controlling the sounds come out the chakras.
Wow.
Yes.
So the sound won't come out unless they
Yes, yes.
And in the ceremony earlier, I noticed that you had many different instruments.
Yes.
What significance do those have? For example, the bowl.
Yes. Those all the different sound is part of the offering. Offering beautiful sound. All those are offering to the Buddhas and the deities.
Can anybody become a monk? How does that happen?
Yes, anyone can be a monk. But after that, when you join to the monastery, and there are many rules to follow, you have to. When you become a monk, first you have to become like a novice monk. You have some rules to follow, and after that, when you become an ordained monk, there are 253 rules to follow. Wow. So you have to take that rules to whole life.
Yeah. So tell me, when did you become a monk?
I will become a monk at the age of 5. I became a Rinpoche when I was 5, recognized by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So I joined to the monastery at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. From that, I got a very great opportunity to practice about compassion and loving kindness, and that's our main reason to sharing our ancient Tibetan culture and also the Indian traditions.
Right. When it comes to meditation, a lot of people find that it's hard to.
Yes.
They think meditation means thinking about nothing, or what is meditation to you?
Meditation, it means that transforming the mind. From the starting, everything is difficult, but when you used to it, it becomes easy. It's important that we have to continue practice. Otherwise, some people at 1 hour they do really hard practice, but after that they couldn't continue that.
So it's more about being consistent than it is about how much or how hard. It's about just continually doing it, getting better
day
at it.
by day.
Well, Minyak Rinpoche, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, and so does everyone at home. And I feel just calmer talking to him, and really meeting somebody with such compassion and to spend their life really wanting to spread that message, but also hearing that you're a human being, and sometimes you get mad too.
Of course.
That's very reassuring, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to kick it up a notch because this is a little too calm. We've got some more fun stuff with Sweat with Sierra. Ah yes, the sound of construction and traffic. Welcome to Brickell. I'm right by the city center to head to Epic Hybrid Training, where we've actually been in the past, but we're here to meet a new face, Sierra Carter. And this is Sierra Carter, and she's going to show us a great workout today. Isn't that right?
It is. I am going to show you a workout, but you can't come. It's ladies only, so see ya.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
How did I get kicked off my own show?
So I'm Sierra Carter, and we are here at Epic Hybrid Training in Brickell. I'm going to show you guys what I do with my clients. I work specifically with women on women's health and fitness issues. I have a lot of women who come to me with these problem areas that they want me to help them work on and help firm up and tone. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But first, I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite warm-up exercises, and then we're going to get into some of the main exercises for today. It's important to warm up your body before you work out. So as you warm up and you mobilize, you're gonna actually release some of that tension and get your body to a better range of motion, prevent injury, and make it so that you can go through your workout effectively and safely and have a better outcome. So the first problem area that most women are going to ask about is the glutes. Of course, everybody wants a nice butt. So the #1 exercise for building the glutes, for firming and toning the glutes is gonna be the hip thrust. The main thing that you wanna keep in mind is keeping your abs tight and your hips forward. So as you squeeze up, you're gonna keep the chin tucked and the back flat. And the one thing you don't wanna let happen is the hips drop. So instead, keep that back in line with the spine, lower down nice and carefully, squeeze back up, and just keep that nice straight line the whole time. Of course, another area that everybody wants to work on is their abs. Who doesn't want nice abs, right? So I'm gonna show you guys my favorite ab exercise, which is the Viper Canoe. With the Viper Canoe, you're gonna be seated with your legs in a raised position, kind of like a V-sit, and then you're just gonna hold the Viper and row back and forth, making sure not to touch the ground and not to swing your legs back and forth. And the last exercise that I'm gonna show you is going to be for the arms and shoulders, because another problem area for most women is that little flab on the back of the arm. So the curl to press is gonna be with 2 kettlebells. You're gonna curl all the way up to your shoulders, turn and press overhead, making sure to keep those abs, again, nice and tight and the hips forward. And after your workout, you just wanna always make sure that you cool your body back down, bring that heart rate back to normal, breathing rate back to normal. A great way to work on that is with foam rolling, and it's gonna help work out some of those knots and tightness in the muscles as well. Today we're gonna work on foam rolling the glutes. You can do both glutes at the same time. I like to focus on one or the other, and you can even, if you want a little deeper pressure, you can cross your knee over. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I gave you guys some ammunition to target some of those problem areas that you're facing. And I just want to give a special thank you to Epic Hybrid Training for hosting us today. Actually, Hunter's been here in the past, and I know that he loved the workouts. If you want to join me on Monday nights, I teach at 6 and 7 p.m. here, or you can always contact me for more on one-on-one training as well. Actually, speaking of Hunter, I think he's still outside.
I came all the way down to Brickell. I swear I'm gonna get a workout in whether they like it or not.
All right, Hunter, we're done now.
Oh, sounds like we're done, so I guess I'll get back to hosting the show. Well, I'm just here appreciating art and making some of my own, and as you can hear in the background, the second ceremony of the day is getting started, so stay tuned for some more SoFlo Health. What do you think? Nah, I know. This is Julia Andrews, the Executive Director of the Coral Springs Museum of Art. Julia, where are we right now?
We're in the museum's International Peace Garden. The garden was created a number of years ago, maybe 20 at this point.
Wow.
And it's filled with artworks that have been created by international artists, but the work has been done here on site, and it's called an Artist in Residence program.
And what's going on at the museum today?
Today we're very excited. The Tibetan Buddhist monks are here today, and it's the start of a week-long kind of a cultural exchange with the ancient art forms of the mandala creation, as well as a number of different workshops that are all art-related.
And Julia, what else do you have happening here at the museum year-round?
Well, you know, we function as a traditional museum, so we have a number of different exhibitions that happen. We try to change them quarterly, so there's always something new to see. We have 3 different galleries that we feature, and each gallery has a different artist, so there's always kind of a robust schedule. But we also have a permanent collection, and it's a really lovely collection that is contemporary, national and international artists. It's really lovely.
When it comes to help and people want to be involved in the museum, are there ways that they can help or contribute?
Oh, absolutely. We have a big force of volunteers, and we're always looking for more. Included in that group of volunteers are docents who actually will provide a tour and will give everyone an inside look as to what is hanging on the wall. There's also a lot of opportunities for kids. Our summer camp, we're always looking for volunteers to work with the artists who are providing the summer camp lessons.
Julia, thank you so much for having us in your Peace Garden. If you stick around, there's so much more Coral Springs Museum of Art to see. In fact, one of the docents is here. Her name is Elaine. She's with Morgan inside. I'm going to head in. You check in with Morgan.
what are we looking at here? This is beautiful, so many colors.
This in particular is a young lady who lives here and works here in Coral Springs. This is a Nigerian subject that she painted.
So how long will this stay up for? Do they alternate out?
Yes, this will stay up for, I would say, another 2 months.
Okay.
And then they will break it down and another exhibition comes in.
Okay.
Most of our big installations, they stay 3 months.
Wow.
And every 3 months we change.
Awesome. So everything in here is from local artists.
Correct.
All right, so what's next? Can you show me something else?
Sure.
All right. So I can't help but to notice that we are not whispering. I feel like most museums you go to, you use your inside voice, everything's very quiet. Why is that?
Well, here we feel in the museum that this is life, this is reality, and you get the vibration, you get the feeling of the art itself.
Right, you get excited about something, you're passionate, you see the colors, you want to tell your friend with enthusiasm in your voice.
Correct.
So I love that. You don't suppress any emotions here.
Not at all, not at all.
So speaking of emotions, I know there was a piece that you wanted to talk about in particular that maybe brings you a lot of emotion. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, I can. One in particular that I like, which is a picture done by Mickey Hart, who was the drummer for the Grateful Dead. I'm sure you've heard, you're not too young, right? But he felt that he would get the vibrations of his drumming and be able to show it into art. And so his piece is really his drumming. What I love most about being a docent is that when we bring in the children, sometimes we ask them first, have any of you ever been in a museum before? And many of them have never been in a museum. It's wonderful, but not only children, we also have tours of senior citizens and just people coming in. So the more that people know about the museum, of course, the better it is for everybody.
What do you say you show me a few more of your favorite pieces and we just continue looking around?
Very good.
All right, let's do it.
When we return, find out how art therapy is helping teens, seniors, and even veterans cope with stress. And Morgan shows us how to make healthy and delicious snacks. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we are still at the Coral Springs Museum of Art, and I'm blessed to be with Raquel. Raquel, thank you so much for being here with us. You are an art therapist, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what does that mean?
An art therapist is a mental health professional.
Okay.
It's a master's level degree, just like other mental health professionals, but we really focus on the creative process, using art and viewing art as the tool, the real vehicle for people's healing when they come to therapy.
So we've talked about this on our show before, that art is a great way for people to either, escape or to find meaning in things or to just relax. Is that true?
Absolutely true. I like to say that in psychology, we kind of like to study the obvious, the things that we all felt like we already knew.
Right.
But we are getting great confirmation from actual research studies now about how it changes people's cortisol levels, how it changes people's brain waves. So making art really is being proven, what we already knew intuitively, to have benefits.
Well, I'm very excited. I see a lot of stuff in front of us right here. What are we about to do?
So we're going to do collage. Everybody's seen magazines and scissors and markers before.
I must say, this is very exciting.
Good. I
haven't done something like this in a long time, but I'm very excited to do so.
So first, typically when people come into the museum, you've been running around. You were running in the parking lot or the traffic was bad. So to help people transition, I do a little bit of a relaxation exercise.
Sure.
So you want to clench as hard as you can, really exaggerate that tension, and then now you want to relax. And your muscles will relax more this way than if you just started from resting.
Really?
And tried to relax, yeah.
Wow.
And then your shoulders, bring them up. And that's kind of where a lot of people carry their stress. And then relax, really let them hang loose.
What's next?
So it's universal. We all face stressors. We all have things that we need to learn how to cope with. And since it's art therapy, we don't just talk about it, we're gonna make a piece of art. So we're gonna actually do a collage where you're gonna get to look through the magazines and choose images of things that are relaxing, helpful resources that you can go to. Could be a symbol, could be a word. The association is completely up to you.
Raquel, I'm very excited to get started, but first I've worked up a little bit of an appetite and I think I could use a snack, so I think you should check in with Morgan as she shows you a trail mix you're gonna love.
We all
all don't have time to prep our food every single day, and maybe you're going out where you don't have time to keep it cold. So a few things that I bring with me are organic rice cakes, the only ingredient being brown rice. An apple. Not all fruit can stay at room temperature, but apples, bananas, these are great ones and really easy to travel with you. And then on Sundays, I like to make a big batch of trail mix. So while you can buy a lot of trail mixes out at the grocery store, personally I like to make my own because I'm very picky about what I put in it, and I want to make sure that the ingredients are real. A lot of those other ones are loaded with sugar and not so good for you. So here I have a mix of almonds, cashews, we have some walnuts, we have some pumpkin seeds, a little salty in there, and then of course with the salty, we have to balance it out with the sweet because I love sweets, some dark chocolate chips, some dried craisins, some banana chips, and some coconut flakes. So trail mix, absolutely delicious, satisfies that sweet and salty cravings, but the problem with this, at least for me, is if I have this whole thing in front of me, the likelihood of me eating about half of it is up there. So now, this is where portion control comes into play. So although nuts are healthy, yes, they are very high in calorie, very calorie dense. So having these little portion control containers really helps me portion it out, pack it for the day, pair it with an apple, a rice cake, and then I am good to go. So plan ahead, guys. Snacking doesn't have to be complicated. It could be very, very simple. Just keep it healthy, keep it clean.
How good does that trail mix look? Pretty darn good, right? Well, while you were enjoying that, I was enjoying making my collage here. And remind us the purpose of this collage.
So this is about reminding yourself of all the things you can do to take care of yourself, to cope with stress and to relax.
Now, is this something you do regularly here?
We do these groups regularly. We change it up. Sometimes it might be collage, sometimes we might draw or we might paint. Nobody has to worry about if they consider themselves to be a good artist or have technical skill.
Sure. Something about being tactical and having to, deal with glue, and I've got tape, like floral tape. It's one of you deal with floral tape. It's a great, like you said, process is a big part of it. That is not just relaxing, but it gives you a sense of reflection that allows you to think about the decisions you're making and what might be behind them, and that can relate to other parts of your life as well.
And we do this in a group, so oftentimes what participants tell us is that camaraderie becomes a big part of it. It's almost like when you have that gym partner to hold you accountable.
Sure.
They know this is my time to get out of the house and my friends are there, waiting for me.
So you told me to make something of things that remind me of relaxing or that calm me. And believe it or not, SoFlo Health is one of those things. That's not just a plug for our show. It really is. I enjoy what I do, and working is always something that calms me, especially when I'm here with people like you and really getting to enjoy myself and share so much with you at home. As a child, I wanted to be an oceanographer, and that was something that calmed me when I had some severe anxiety whenever I'd go to the ocean or snorkeling or do something sea-related. And then big old picture of a dog here because I have dogs, have my whole life, and I love being around them. I think they're extremely therapeutic. And finally, nice big healthy salad because after all, this is SoFlo Health and we gotta stay healthy. So Raquel, thank you so much for your time and for inspiring me to make, and the blank space is just for free thinking, of course. It's not because we don't have time. But anyway, thank you so much for having us here and for showing me the process that you share with so many. And thank you for the work that you do because it really is impacting people for the good.
Thanks for coming.
Focusing on you. Innovations in modern medicine from your team of experts at UHealth, the University of Miami Health System.
Leo Gordon is thrilled to be alive and healthy after undergoing surgery to repair a fatal heart condition that went undiscovered for decades.
I was making a scene in ICU, just screaming that I was happy.
He had a calcified valve. He had an aneurysm, which is a sac of the aorta. Aneurysms are known to rupture or tear on the inside, and they become a fatal problem.
UHealth Chief of Cardiac Surgery, Dr. Joseph Lamelas, used the minimally invasive technique he developed to replace the aortic valve and ascending aorta in Leo's heart without opening up his chest.
And this approach is not touching the sternum at all. It's a 5-centimeter incision between the ribs, and I've performed over 500 cases, and I've published my results with this particular operation.
One of the biggest benefits of minimally invasive heart surgery is the quick recovery time. For Leo, this meant getting back to work as the head of his family's plumbing business less than 2 weeks after leaving the hospital.
Now his heart is able to pump properly and pump enough blood to the brain and to the rest of the body, and his quality of life will definitely improve because he's getting more blood to every organ in his body.
I'm more awake now, 63, than even 20 years ago.
My biggest reward is seeing the patient in the post-operative period. This is why I do what I do.
That's it for this week's episode of SoFlo Health. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you got even just a little bit of the experience we were able to have while here in the room with Tibetan monks. It's a whole different thing seeing it on TV and actually being in the room for the sights and the sounds. And if you want to experience it for yourself, you still have time to get down here. They'll be here until the end of the day. And as you can see, there are all sorts of shows and things to see here at the Coral Springs Museum of Art. It's happening all the time, so just check in on their website. And thank you to the Coral Springs Museum of Art for having us here today and letting us experience not just the monks, but the art and the great people that work here and curate this museum. As always, you can watch previous episodes of SoFlo Health on SoFloHealth.com, and you can follow us using @SoFloHealth to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. I'll see you next week. Next week, it's Sunday in the Park with Hunter. Hey, that's me. We'll explore one of Broward's hidden gems, visit a healthy Aventura eatery, and get some next-level fitness solutions. We'll see you then.